Hey everyone, Joey here, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. Anbernic sent me over this Anbernic RG SP, and so I usually wait a little bit before I do any kind of video, but I just got this a few hours ago. I want to do a first impressions for the very good reason that I've been waiting 3 years for this handheld, 3 years for this to arrive, and it's here. And we're going to talk about why it's awesome, because it is just a Game Boy Advance SP in 2026. They finally did it. Somebody finally did it. They put it all together to make an actual Anbernic RG SP in 2026, like everybody's been asking for years, and it's here, and I'm excited. So first impressions right off the bat, that's what we're doing today. No real big editing, none of that. We're just gonna talk about this. Let's go. I do want to talk about what comes in the box in this little cowboy looking thing in a little bit, but let's talk about the actual device first. So as you can probably see here, it is like a 1-to-1, basically Game Boy Advance SP from every single angle that you look at it, which is awesome. Obviously a little bit different. There is 2 buttons here, 4 buttons here. We want the 4 buttons, of course. We still have the speakers. We have the start and select here, menu button or backlight on this one, D-pad, all of that, and same sort of angles, pretty much exact same for the most part. This goes a little bit more, but it could just be years of use. And when you close it, we are almost, I mean, you'd have to measure this, but it is almost perfect as far as the size goes. Exact same. So obviously we're not using the power button here. We have the SD card slot, power, reset. If we pop it over to the other side, we have volume and SD card slot again, but otherwise everything else is just a recreation of it. We do have R1, L1, L2, R2 as usual, and then an HDMI as well as a USB-C, because this does have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and HDMI, so you can dock it if you wanted to. But it is just, you know they're going to come out with a red one at some point. You know that's going to happen. Right now there's 4 colors. I got the silver one, there's a blue, a black, and I forget what the other one is, a fuchsia or pink or something. But either way, silver is what I was aiming for right now, but you know that Anbernic's going to have other colors at some point, which I am all here for. On the bottom, nothing really exciting to look at. It is a metallic paint. It isn't metal. It is plastic, but it is a metallic paint. Feels nice. I don't think it attracts fingerprints so far, but this is early, so we'll never know. Or at least until review time. Well, we won't know. Headphone jack on the bottom, and yeah. Now, I'm going to turn this on. I was actually using Next UI on this for a little bit, so we'll look at that in a little bit. But I'm going to turn this on, and we'll take a look at it. I'm going to put this over to the side for now. Let's talk about what's in the box just quickly while that's loading. We have the usual fixins here, but you have wipes, you have a manual, and you have a screen protector, as well as a USB cable that's inside of here. Now, I do want to talk about the USB cable in a second, but I just want to check what kind of screen protector this is and if it just fits right in. Yeah, that's nice. So it'll just slide right in. You don't have to worry too much about it. Pretty easy to just throw on there, which I'll probably be doing in a little bit. Let me put these back. Let's talk about the USB cable. I have tried the RGSP now with about 10 different cables and chargers and mix and match in all of them. It still doesn't have USB-C charging. It is still USB-A to C. I have not been able to get it to work with any single USB-C cable, which is unfortunate, but that is the case, which isn't new. That is all the Anbernic H700 devices, but that's where we're at. Now, as far as the operating system goes, it's still stock Anbernic. It is still running. Everything that I've noticed is the same as previous H700 devices. I haven't seen anything new here, which is to be expected. I wouldn't have expected anything new, but it is still the same. I do want to point out this is the Anbernic RG34XX SP screen, as well as the same one they use in 34XX. Does mean it gets really bright if you want it to. So right now I have it on really low. It's a number 2 of what they have. So let me get it to a thing, and we're just going to pop on. That's very bright. So it gets really bright, which is nice. I'm going to send it right back down. We'll leave it there. One thing with the screen, there's a little bit more of a bigger black on the top than it is around, but otherwise, I think we know much about the screen at this point. It's a nice one. for 3x2, of course, because you want 3x2 for a Game Boy Advance SP, and it works out nicely. Now, one thing I haven't checked yet is to make sure it is actually 60 Hertz. That'll be something for the review. We'll leave that for later. Now, if you're curious what this looks like for Game Boy, I do have shaders on and overlays applied. This is the stock Anbernic experience, but this is the actual screen size of Game Boy. And you can see here, looks pretty nice. There's a lot of room here if you want to use Game Boy. I think this is a Game Boy Advance type device, but you can play Game Boy on here as well if you want to play Super Nintendo, all of that. Honestly, for me, this is Game Boy Advance specifically. That's all I need this for. And I think it has more than enough screen, but looks pretty good. Now, I know a lot of people are going to ask, because of previous devices, how loud are the buttons? What do they sound like? How do they feel? All that sort of thing. So let me do a test right now. I'm going to put it up to the microphone and you're going to hear it completely. So there's a few things to talk about here. The Y button, for some reason, is a little bit louder than the other buttons. Not sure why. A little bit louder. B, X, A, all fine. I mean, I'm fine with this. I do not find this loud at all. But I also didn't have an issue with the 35XX SP original buttons either, which a lot of people said were a little clacky and loud. So it's up to you. I don't know. You can replay back that all you want. I just don't find it loud. And I'm trying to talk over this so you can hear it on the background just in case. But I don't find this loud. I find this to be pretty good, in all honesty. Now, there is one thing that is a bit of an annoyance here with the Anbernic device that is on pretty much every H700 device that I can think of, even without Wi-Fi on. I don't remember what the reason is for this. There is a static noise that comes from the actual Anbernic RG SP. I think it's a speaker interference or something along those lines. It has been in every single H700 device. Now, this is, again, without Wi-Fi on. I have it on now, but even without it on, it still has that same noise. It's kind of like a constant little buzzing noise that happens in the background. And I think people have gotten used to it overall, but I haven't used an H700 in so long and I forgot about it. It's something that's really hard to capture on camera, so I don't know if I'd be able to grab it, but just be aware there is a little bit of a noise there. Otherwise, I thought I would pull up Pokemon Lazarus, which is a good example of how good a Game Boy Advance game can look. And yeah, it's gorgeous on this screen. The screen is way better than you would expect for the price. And yeah, I think that looks really good. I'm really happy with that. Again, it's been a long time since I've used a 34XX or 34XX SP. I don't have any of the other clamshells on me to compare, but definitely a nice screen. And this isn't even the highest brightness too. So you have a lot to work with here for Game Boy Advance, but it just looks, it's perfect. It's exactly what you want this to be. When you're looking for a Game Boy Advance SP, this is exactly what you want. I'm super happy about this. Now, I should be upfront. I don't know anything about release date or pricing or anything like that as of yet. That's why, again, I'm not doing a review yet. This is a first impressions. That'll all be in a review. I tend to not do reviews until pricing is out because, I mean, pricing is one of the biggest things you need to know in a review. So I wait on that. We'll talk about this more in the review at that point, but I just want to do a very quick first impressions on the Anbernic RG SP, see if I could answer some of the burning questions that most people have. Yeah, it is exactly what I was waiting for. I mean, not exactly. I don't like the hum and I want USB-C charging, but this is, yeah, I mean, nobody's making these, right? So it's close enough for me that exactly what I've been waiting for. Probably my most anticipated handheld of this year, and I'm glad that it's arrived and seems to be in good shape from what I can tell. No issues. No major issues, no major deal breakers yet, but we'll see if that happens for the review. I don't want to make this too long of a video, so just ending off here, it looks great. Honestly, it looks great. And I couldn't get my Game Boy Advance SP to boot up because oh wait, hold on, we got it. I did it like 10 times and it wouldn't work. Just to see a comparison between the two for fun. This is going to be Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, but I mean, you can get the gist out of it, of how far we've come since then. Like, that's amazing. It's been a long time, so I'm super happy about this. I said I would talk about this cowboy thing. I I don't know who's going to use this or what you would do with this. Let's just see if this actually pops in there. And I'm in Alberta and I still wouldn't use this, but I mean, hey, if you want to have whatever this is to store your Anbernic RGSP, well, you can. It's got little things on the side, so if you want to put some wrist strap, I don't even know. You have this as an option, I guess, if you want it. But that is probably going to be it for today, I think. I want to go play with this thing now. I am super excited to put it through the paces. Oh, no, never mind. We talked about one thing that I have not shown off, and it was Next UI. So let me do that. I'm all scatterbrained when I do this live without a script or anything, and we're just going with what I have. Let me get this out of the way. So we are going to boot into Next UI. I was playing around with this a little bit. It is not set up properly for the screen as of yet, but when it will be, this will probably be my go-to. So we have Next UI here. Everything that you would normally want, but I'm going to boot into a game. And you can kind of see it is not using up the entire screen for whatever reason. This is new. They probably don't even have all the firmware and everything that they need to set this up. But when this does get set up, Next UI is going to be a really cool option for this. We're almost there, which is really cool. But I just want to show it off because I find Next UI to just be simple, easy to use. And now that it's coming to H700 devices, or it is available with H700 devices, it should be a really good option. Anyways, that is going to be it for this one. Anbernic RG SP. We don't know price, we don't know release date, but we know it's awesome. It's where we're at right now. So you'll hear more from me in a little bit once I get pricing and release date. Then I'll have a review and we'll talk about it again. But as you can tell, I really love this thing. So we'll talk more about this in the future. Don't forget to like and sub to help the channel grow. Come join me on the Discord to talk all about retro gaming, and hope you all have a good one.